Hey.
You guys look like you're really far apart, though.
Ronnie, how you doing today?
You know, Ronald, I gotta admit, my neck is a little bit sore. I think I slept on it weird.
Well, maybe you should, have better sleeping positions.
All right, you know what? That's an interesting topic. I'd love to hear your opinion on it. So, sleeping positions, let's do it.
Okay, why not? Let's talk about it.
So, Ronald, you talk about these sleeping positions. I have to admit, my neck really is sore, but what is the best sleeping position?
Okay, this is coming from me, not a sleep expert, but I can tell you this is the right way to do it. Flat on your back with a pillow that's not too high so your neck's not all wrenched, in a very relaxed position. Everything's relaxed and straight and in alignment. That's the best sleeping position.
I actually don't disagree with you. I like to fall asleep, and I am on my back almost always when I fall asleep, but I never wake up on my back. So I always wake up either on my side or like a 45-degree angle from my back. I just think what's happening is I'm going to bed one way, and my body is saying that's not the most comfortable position, so it's moving me into a more comfortable position, which beckons the question, what is the best positions and what are the pros and cons?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, sometimes your mind's not stopping, you need a little comfort. I might kind of snuggle my head in the pillow to try to get relaxed or something like that. But ultimately, if I can just get relaxed and lie flat, I'm gonna have the best night of sleep that way.
I guess it also beckons the question, are you sleeping alone or are you sleeping with somebody else? Because that could dictate what happens. Like maybe you're a snorer and if you're on your back, isn't that the most prone position for snoring?
Actually, with snorers, you might have different positions or whatnot. But that whole being on your side position, all tensed up like that, and that kind of fetal position, I don't know, man. I know some people sleep on their side. I just can't get that.
But that whole concept of going fetal, that, it was our comfortable position. We slept on our sides for 9 months before we were even into this world. Maybe there's something to be said about that.
Yeah, maybe there is some comfort to it for some people. Not for me. It feels like all tensed up in a ball or something like that.
So you like death preparation sleeping, where you're preparing for what it's like to be dead. You're in corpse position.
No, it's like everything relaxed. I'm thinking my toes, fingers, everything. My whole body is just relaxed. Like I'm floating in the ocean. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm trying to fall asleep. Super relaxed.
One of the things that I find most bizarre about how I sleep, other than I start on my back and end up on my side, is sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and my hands will be way up over my head like this.
Okay.
And I'll be sleeping was there a goal in soccer or something like that?
Or some crazy dream or something like that. It's interesting you say that, because sometimes I might put my arms above too, just to relax and try to get some nerves out.
One thing that my wife likes to do is change things up. Meaning, she likes to switch sides of the bed. So one day I'll come home and all my stuff is moved to the other nightstand. And I'm like, oh, I guess we're switching sides of the bed. Which plays into your mental ability to sleep. As I said, I wake up on my side often.
Okay.
Which usually I wake up opposite her. Now that I say this out loud, I know what's happening. I'm sleeping on my back. I bet you a snore or a sound happens she doesn't like and she pushes me away from her. Because I always end up facing outside, away from the bed when I wake up. So
great, Ronnie, blame your wife.
But it makes sense if you think about it. Sleeping on one side versus the other is different. Your heart's on the left side.
Okay, all right.
And so if you're a side sleeper, I'd love to hear about this. Can you only sleep on one side or are you ambi-side?
But what about this whole sleeping on the stomach thing? Every once in a while I need to kind of snuggle my head in the pillow to start getting sleepy, and it's not terribly comfortable. It feels like the back is just not in the right position sleeping on the stomach.
So think of it like a massage.
Okay.
If you've ever had a massage, you're laying down on your stomach, but they have a hole in the middle for you to put your head. If you're on your stomach in your bed, I'm gonna guess your bed doesn't have a hole in it. So that means that your head is gonna have to be turned to one side or the other, which doesn't sound good for your neck.
That's back to your whole crank in the neck.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sleeping on my stomach. It's not that I'm aware of, but I think sleeping on your stomach is not a thing. I think sleeping on your stomach is just silly.
Yeah.
Because you're just asking for an injury.
Yeah, good point. So what do we got here? You can sleep on your back, your side, your stomach. What about those beds that have all these angles and all that kind of stuff? And I don't know. I don't get that. I don't have one of those beds. You can sleep. I don't know. It's better for snoring or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I just think it's easier to get out of bed is why they have those.
Good
But
point.
it's funny. My son, I often will see him. He's not even on the bed, or at least parts of his body are on the bed, but he's like hanging off of it, draping off the side. And I'm like,
Oh, man.
how does that happen?
Those are the good old days where you could pretty much sleep anywhere and be restful. Now I'm in a stage of my life where I pretty much need to be like sleeping in my own bed.
Kind of bed you have, you probably bought that bed determined by how you sleep. If you have a firm bed, you probably don't sleep on your side. That doesn't sound too comfortable, sleeping on a firm bed on your side. You probably sleep on your back. A soft bed, maybe you are a stomach sleeper and you want to have that kind of sink into the bed. But in all reality, this is a personal preference thing.
I want to know, from somebody who maybe has studied this, might know something out of the books or something that there are best sleeping positions for your body. What do you think?
Who's the first person you talk to when you go to see a medical professional?
The nurse. That's a great idea, Ronnie.
Let's go talk to a nurse.
Let's do it.
There are some questions about what is the best way to sleep. On your back, on your stomach, on your side. Do you have an opinion here?
I think that depends on maybe your medical history. Probably side would be the best for most people.
Okay.
Just because it kind of keeps your spine in alignment. But if you've got something like sleep apnea, you may need to sleep maybe sitting up a little bit or with your head elevated. If you have reflux, you might need to sleep in a different position.
Wow, I did not think about it.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I always thought that laying flat on your back as relaxed as possible. That's what I try to do, and that was the best way to do it. But what you're saying is it better to be on your side?
I think it depends.
Okay.
I think it's different for everyone. But
Okay.
I think the side is probably a safe, not like a fetal position.
Yep.
But just kind of a nice relaxed.
Right. Head kind of propped up on the pillow.
Just a
Right.
little
Well, if you don't mind us asking, how do you sleep?
I sleep on my side.
Your side. Now,
So I might be biased.
So I have a question though. So is it one side or both? Are you ambi-side sleeper or do you only do one side?
I do both sides.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if you had to pick a side that was quote unquote the best, maybe your left side, and that's just for to help drain if you have reflux or something. It'll just, yeah.
Okay, very interesting.
Or if you're a pregnant woman, I think.
You know
always
what?
say
It's
something
so funny
left
you
side.
say that because my friend Ronald here is expecting.
Yes, I really am.
So some of the other things I think about, when you talk about sleeping on your back, my wife will tell you that she doesn't like if I sleep on my back because I might snore. Is that a common thing? If you're on your back, it's more likely to snore?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think it has to do with the anatomy, probably. So if you're on your back, your tongue and the soft tissue are relaxed and can just kind of maybe collapse a little bit, just like in sleep apnea. And that
Okay.
Interesting. So you can choke on your tongue then.
You could.
Oh wow, that does sound dangerous. I'm gonna question this me sleeping on my back thing. What about sleeping?
It's not likely though.
It's not likely. Unlikely scenario. Okay. Well, all right. What about sleeping on your stomach?
Stomach, I feel like that could be potentially bad for your back.
Okay.
And then depending, where would your face be? Is
Right.
it down?
Yeah.
Are you gonna turn it?
Yeah.
It's neck
What if
issues.
you had a massage bed where it had a hole cut out of it and you could lay down face down?
Maybe that would be okay.
I'd have to explore that. Okay, so side you think is probably for the broadest audience, probably the most acceptable way to sleep.
Probably, but again, whatever works for you.
Yeah. So the takeaway is sleep how you're comfortable. Side is best for most.
Yeah.
Stomach is good if you have a hole cut out in your bed.
Yeah, and left side on the side, right? That's you're better off there because of your organs and the drainage and all that kind of stuff.
The audience out there, one of the things that they're going to want to know is if they were wanting to get more information, do you have any recommendations on where they could go to get information on sleeping positions?
Yeah, you could definitely talk to your doctor.
Well, that was interesting. I it's always good to hear from somebody who's, medically trained, but at the end of the day, it's my body. I'll sleep how I want, and it's a personal preference thing that I feel comfortable with.
You do that, Ronnie, and then you folks out there, let us know, what do you think is the best sleeping position? Let us know that. And let us know if any other topics you want us to talk about. And check out those other shows, those links down below. Ronnie, all this talk about sleep, I'm tired.
Listen, I'm the one with the sore neck, so I'm gonna go try to take a nap here and catch you
Okay.
another day.
Yes.
Refreshed and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. See
Yeah,
ya.
See ya.